It used to be so easy to choose your Adventure Kings lithium battery. After all, we only had one in the range, the legendary 120 amp hour lithium battery. But that's not the perfect choice for everyone and every setup. These days, the range has expanded to include many more models, plus lithium power packs. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire range and help you decide what's right for you and your setup based on 4 key points. Number 1, battery dimensions, shape and weight. Number 2, battery capacity, or in this case, runtime for a typical 12-volt fridge. Number 3, battery maximum power output. We're going to use an inverter as an example. And number 4, how easy they are to set up, use and charge. I'm also going to add a 98 amp hour lead acid AGM battery as a baseline. AGM batteries are what most people used to use for camping setups and what most people think of when they think about a battery being used in these situations. Lithium has many more advantages over lead acid, but the most obvious are its lightweight, more usable capacity in the same size battery, and of course the much longer life cycles. In fact, you could actually have 2 lithium batteries for the same weight as a similar capacity AGM, giving you 4 times the usable capacity and much more than double the lifetime. Plus, all Kings lithium batteries and lithium power packs are lithium iron phosphate chemistry, or LiFePO4, not the typical lithium ion you might have heard of. Lithium iron phosphate is a super stable and super safe technology. But for more on that, make sure you check out our lithium battery masterclass where I get right down into those technical details. First, let's talk dimensions, shape, and weight. The Adventure Kings range of lithium batteries can broadly be broken up into 4 categories: power packs, standard case size batteries, large case batteries, and slim batteries. And let's start with the pros and cons of power packs. Lithium power packs are small, lightweight, and portable, and they don't require a separate box or enclosure. They're rugged enough to be used around camp or in your vehicle. Their small size means that they don't have as much power storage as some other bigger batteries, but they're the perfect choice for any of those devices that would typically run off a 12-volt socket, right up to and including 12-volt fridges. That's right, these little devices aren't to be confused with power banks that are generally just used for charging up your phone. These will run your fridge, and they only weigh 1.5 or 3 kilos respectively. Next are your standard case batteries. In this range, you've got the 60, 100 and 120 amp hour lithium batteries. And these are a typical case size, similar to what you'd find under the bonnet of your vehicle as a starter battery. They're designed to fit Adventure Kings battery boxes. The 60 amp hour goes with the compact battery box, and the 100 and 120 with a standard size battery box. And that gives you really easy access to all of your power. They offer a good combination of lightweight and power capacity. Batteries in this range generally weigh about 6 to 16 kilos. Third, we have large case batteries. In this range, we have a 200 amp hour and 300 amp hour lithium battery. And as you can see, they're about double the size of those typical standard case size batteries. So they're really suited for those setups that have ample space. They offer the highest amount of stored power, but due to their size and weight, they're not as portable. They're still lightweight though, compared to those lead acid batteries. The King's 200 amp hour lithium is under 25 kilos, and the 300 amp hour is under 40 kilos. And finally, there are slim case batteries. Even in this range, there's a big difference in shape and size. This is a 100 amp hour slim battery, and this is a 100 amp hour ultra slim. They both have the same capacity, but very different form factors. Like those larger case batteries, they're less portable and much more suited to a permanent install. When it comes to slim 100 amp hour batteries, you're looking at about 10 to 20 kilos for weight, depending on whether it's got a lightweight plastic case or a tough steel case with integrated mounting points that makes it a lot easier to fix permanently. Next, let's take a look at battery power capacity using fridge runtime as a metric. And there's an important note here. Lead acid batteries should ideally only be used down to about 50% remaining, while lithium batteries can be used all the way down to 0% remaining. However, in most cases, we recommend using your lithium battery down to about 20% remaining, giving you 80% of the battery's capacity. This is also known as 80% depth of discharge, and it's just a good rule of thumb for any lithium battery to look after it and get the most out of it. For this example, we're using an Adventure Kings 35 litre stays cool fridge freezer for our comparison. If it was in 32-degree ambient temperatures and you set it to 3 degrees, kept it out of the sun and ensured it had good ventilation, this fridge will use around an amp hour per hour. Of course, no two situations are ever going to be identical, but this is a great guide. The 12 amp hour lithium power pack can run that 35 litre stays cool for around 12 hours. The 24 amp hour lithium power pack for around 24 hours. A 60 amp hour lithium can run this fridge for around 48 hours. The 98 amp hour AGM is about 49 hours, remembering that they're only really meant to be used down to 50% remaining. The 100 amp hour standard case, slim and ultra slim lithium batteries will run the stays cool for approximately 80 hours. The legendary 120 amp hour Kings lithium for 96 hours. The 200 amp hour lithium will run the Kings 35 litre for around 160 hours, and you'll get a huge 240 hours out of a 300 amp hour lithium battery. Remember, you could charge your battery back up while you're camping with a solar panel or through your vehicle to extend your fridge's runtime. However, at its core, your battery capacity is the total amount of power you can store. So in some cases, bigger is better to give you that little bit more backup power. Next up, we'll talk about maximum power output, and for this example, we're going to use inverters. Now, an inverter, when it's powering a power-hungry device, needs to be able to output a lot of power, and therefore, by extension, your battery needs to be able to supply a lot of power. Any discussion on battery power needs to include lithium battery management systems, or BMS for short. Think about your battery as if it was a water tank and your BMS as if it was a tap. The tap is only going to let out as much water as it can, even if you have a whole lot of water in the tank. And a BMS is the same. It controls the output of the battery. It's important that your BMS is matched to your battery. And that's true for all other Adventure Kings batteries in the range. The 120 amp hour lithium has a 120 amp BMS, right up to the 300 amp hour with a 300 amp BMS. The only exception is the 100 amp hour ultra slim battery that has a huge 175 amp BMS that's been designed for higher output. If you want to check out which battery pairs with which inverter, check out the Full Drive Supacentre website. Find the product you're interested in and then check the specs tab to see what works. The way this is calculated is by multiplying the battery's nominal voltage by its BMS's constant current discharge rating. So in case of the 120 amp hour lithium, the nominal voltage is 12.8 volts and the BMS constant current discharge rating is 120 amps. Multiply those together and you get 1536 watts, meaning it's suitable for up to a 1500 watt inverter. Lithium power packs aren't really suitable for inverters, but they do feature a high power USB-C output, which means you can charge your laptop or devices anyway with no need for a power point. Checking the website or using that equation, we can see that the 60 amp hour lithium can output up to 768 watts. So it's perfect for an Adventure Kings 500 watt inverter. Next up, we will add the 98 amp hour AGM into the comparison. AGM batteries don't have a BMS and they have a lower nominal voltage, so we don't really recommend them for running inverters. If you did try and run a 1500 watt inverter on this battery, it would be down to about 50% remaining in around 10 minutes. Using the same calculation shows us that the 100 amp hour standard and 100 amp hour slim are suitable for up to 1280 watts of output. The 100 amp hour ultra slim with the more powerful BMS can output up to 2240 watts. The 120 amp hour can power up to 1536 watts. The 200 amp hour can output up to 2560 watts. And the 300 amp hour lithium can output up to 3840 watts. The table is now starting to show us a good overall view of what battery might be right for our setups, depending if you want to run a fridge for a certain amount of time or you want to power those power-hungry appliances through an inverter. The final thing to consider is how easy the battery is to use, charge, and set up in the first place. It's not just a matter of having a battery and connecting all of your 12-volt accessories or devices directly to it. You'll need some form of power distribution. That could be as simple as a battery box, where you place the battery in, connect 2 wires, and have easy access to all your power. Or you could remotely mount the Adventure Kings control box so you can actually hide your batteries away for a neat integrated setup. When it comes to charging your lithium battery, there's a few things to consider. Of course, you do need something to keep it charged up and ready to use, and it's important that you use a charger with a specific lithium profile. You could use a solar panel with an Adventure Kings premium MPPT regulator or an Adventure Kings DC-DC charger to charge it up while you're driving. And if you're at home, you could fit an AC charger to your battery terminals and charge it up that way. But just remember, you'll need a lithium specific charger. Now, I did say that you'll need some sort of power distribution and some sort of charger, but the exception to that rule is the Adventure Kings lithium power packs. They have all the ports you need on one end, a built-in torch on the other end, and they feature USB-C charging, so you can charge them with any high-power USB port or pick up an Adventure Kings AC to USB adapter for fast charging. Adventure Kings standard case size batteries like the 60, 100 and 120 amp hour lithium are designed to be used with accessories that make your life easier. Plug it into a battery box and you've got an easy way to carry your battery and use all the power thanks to those built-in ports. With slim batteries, you'll need a way to connect your 12-volt accessories and wiring, and that's where products like the 12-volt control box are really handy, allowing you to mount your battery out of the way and still easily access your power. The ultra slim lithium, with its built-in mounting points and quick connect outputs, is a really good option for custom setups, but you'll still need to consider where you want to mount it and how you want to connect up your accessories. Large batteries like the 200 and 300 amp hour are designed for those DIY permanent power installs where you need lots of capacity. They're ideal for custom setups where you want big power. And in that case, you're still going to need to consider your power distribution. So again, a 12-volt control box is a great option. So let's take one last good look at the range, plus our table of specs and stats to help you decide what's right for your setup. First of all, consider the weight. Second, consider how much space you have available. Third, make sure you think about what you want to run and for how long. And number 4, think about how easy you want your system to be to set up in the first place and to use into the future. We started this video talking about the legendary Adventure Kings 120 amp hour lithium, and now you can probably see why it's so popular. It's easy to manage, it fits right into a standard sized battery box, you can run a fridge for up to 4 days and nights, or up to a 1500 watt inverter for those power hungry appliances like coffee machines or induction cooktops. Of course, if you do need any more help, please drop a comment below and we'll get back to you, or duck into your local 4-Drive Supacentre store and speak to one of our 12-volt experts.